Okay guys, today what we got is a vacuum pump video. Now this vacuum pump is used to pull a vacuum on an HVA system. What I'm using it for is automotive. So I've got a car that needs recharging because I put a new condenser in the system. The condenser was damaged when someone ran a raccoon over and it damaged the condenser, so I have to start with a whole new system. This model is the VP 135. It's a Zeny brand pump, which I looked on Amazon. That's where I got this off of Amazon. And this seemed to be one of the better pumps. Had pretty good ratings on it. Better ratings than a lot of the other ones. So this is the one I decided to get. And it's a 3rd horsepower pump. It's a single stage pump. And it comes with the oil, proper amount of oil to fill it with, and the proper type of oil. And it comes with a manual, of course. So I'm going to take a look at it real quick here. Okay, so this pump connects to 110, regular 110 line. It's a 3rd horsepower, and here's the specs that are on the pump. It pulls 4 CFM. That was one of the reasons I bought it, was it pulls a good vacuum. A little higher vacuum than some of the other pumps. A lot of them are 1/4 horsepower pumps that they're selling in this price range. Okay, so it has, here's where the vacuum gets pulled from. It has 2 fittings on here. This one is set up for R22. So if you have a set of gauges that you can charge R22, like this is a set of gauges here that can be used for R22, 410A. Modern heat pumps have 410A in them. R22 is the older type of refrigerant. And then this is a set of gauges for 134A, automotive style refrigerant. So this pump is already set up for the R22 410A. This fitting right here. And then it has a bigger fitting on top. I'm guessing this is maybe R12 or something. I'm not sure. So if you do buy this pump, you'll need to buy an adapter that goes from the R22 to a 134A. And you can get that on Amazon. It looks like this. They're not very expensive, $5.99. That's your adapter you'll need to purchase, because here's my gauge set for 134A. This is where you'd connect this line, this yellow line, you would connect up to your vacuum pump, and then you would do is you'd open up, I'm not sure which, if you'd use the high side or the low side, but you'd connect up to your system with one of these and pull a vacuum. So this one, the 134A, will not fit either one of these fittings. So that's why you need the adapter. If you're going to do this. Okay, so, and here's the exhaust port on it right here. I already read the directions on it, and it says to pour the oil into that exhaust port. And there's a fill gauge on the side of it here. Your minimum fill, maximum, and then The oil has a lot to do with the way this pulls a vacuum. So if you have too much oil, it's going to start spitting oil out the top here. And not enough oil, you're not going to pull a good vacuum. So you want to make sure your oil is at the proper level. And the proper way to test this, because once it heats up, this oil is going to expand a little bit. So what they say is to fill it to the minimum line right here, and then run it for a minute, and then check it while it's running and fill it in between these two lines. Then you know you're full. This also has a drain port on it right here for draining the oil, for doing the maintenance on it, because it might suck some dirt or moisture out of your system. Basically that's what this does. When you pull a vacuum, it pulls moisture, and I don't know if it'll pull any dirt, but if there's dirt in the lines, it may pull some dirt and get into oil. And then you want to make sure to maintain this vacuum pump properly. You want to change that oil once in a while. So there it is. And the manual's pretty good. Tells you all that, how to operate it in here, how to maintain a high vacuum. It's got some tips and a troubleshooting guide here if you're having problems pulling a good vacuum. And then it has an exploded view of the pump if you ever need to repair it. And this is a single stage, so it has all the different models here on a chart, and then with all their specifications. Looks like a lot of every pump they sell can be operated on 220 or 110, and because it's shipped to the United States, they already ship it with the 110 spec on it and a 110 cord. So there you go, guys. It's the Zeny vacuum pump. It looks like it has pretty good specs. We're going to try it out on the car, and I'll make a video when I'm pulling a vacuum on it, let you guys know how it works. Okay, so it says in the instructions here that it's shipped without oil. So it says to remove the exhaust fitting cap and add oil till it just shows in the bottom of the sight glass. And what I thought it meant was this is the exhaust fitting cap, but no, don't do it that way. Don't pour the oil into here. What they mean is to remove this whole assembly, which is sort of, I think it's like a baffle. If you look in there, it has some type of a foam element in it, and a little baffle in this end, so the air comes out the sides and then through the top. I think that's just meant to so you don't have a lot of oil spraying out of it, because there'll be oil splashing around in here. So when you add your oil, make sure you take this part off. Don't try pouring it through here, because that's just a baffle. And then when you're turning your pump on, make sure that cap is off, and just unscrew one of these inlets and plug it in. There's an on-off switch back here on the handle, so make sure that's in the off position so you're ready to go. Okay, I got it plugged up. So I'm expecting, because I did start pouring oil into here, there might be some oil that starts blowing out of there, so I'm going to be ready for that. There it goes. Yeah, there's some oil vapors coming out of there. I'm just going to keep paper towel on there. See all that oil vapor coming out? Because I've tried filling it through that hole there. So it says to run it for 30 seconds and then check the oil level and add as needed. To me, they gave me the I think they gave us the proper amount of oil to fill it. And you do check it while it's running. So what you want to do is let it run, let it get nice and hot, warm up, and then this oil fill is gonna, that level will rise a little bit because the oil expands. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've run the pump for about a minute, and let's take a look here. So the oil level is kind of between the max and min, hasn't changed at all. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to pull a test vacuum with the unit. It's getting warm. I've got my R22 gauges hooked up here. And as you can see, I just had it run that little bit of short time. And it's pulled almost 30 inches of vacuum. I'd say it's about 28, something like that. Get a good shot of it here, straight on. Underneath parallax there. Almost 30 inches of vacuum. I'm going to let that run for a while and see if it goes up any. And then we're going to turn it off and we're going to see if it holds that vacuum good. I gotta tell you, the pump is really quiet. I was expecting to be quite a bit more noisy than that. Got a little bit of vibration to it, but it's very quiet. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes so far, and it looks like the vacuum is about the same as it was, about 28 or 29. So let's switch it off. Well, let's sit there. Let's see if everything's holding the vacuum good. So then I know all the that it holds the vacuum good. When I connect it up to the car, I won't have any problems. So far, it's looking good. It's holding about the same vacuum as it is, exactly the same vacuum. So we'll come back in about 15 minutes and see if that's still holding a good vacuum. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes and it looks like it's holding a good vacuum. So should be good. All I have to do is wait for my adapter so I can hook up my 134A gauges to this pump and we'll be good. And I can start working on the old Dodge Magnum where I put a new condenser in there. It's looking good though. It pulls a good vacuum and it holds it good.